Welcome to dboTV. My name is Duncan, and this week's episode, I have my good friend GrimBrotherOne coming to be really shy and timid, as I've been saying. We're going to go over the Bungie Weekly update, Destiny drawing board, and a little bit of community news. So let's get started, shall we? Whoa! Should probably get rid of that. There we go. Much better. Welcome to dboTV. My name is Duncan. Some people call me NCSU Duncan. Welcome to the show. If you've never watched it before, it's a weekly Destiny news show for Destiny.Bungie.Org. Yes, I am becoming a sellout now. I'm plastering Skype ads all over my screen. Anyway, this week on dboTV, my guest is the illustrious GrimBrotherOne, which is a good friend of mine. I always enjoy hanging out with him at PAX and E3 and other events like that. So let's give him a call. Let's see if this works. Where's Jeff? Video call. Alright. There he is. Can you see me, Jeff? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I cannot see you.
How's it going, man?
It's always good, man.
Alright, let me see if I can resize it. There we go. A little better. Yeah. Alright. Oh, man. I'm digging the orange Titan shirt.
You like that?
I'm rocking Hunter today. Oh, man. Well, how's it going? How you been? It's been a while. It's a couple months since I saw you, right?
I know. It's some of the saddest months of my life, my friend. It's the time in between that we spend together is the worst.
That's very true. I don't know. When was the first time we hung out? That was probably, I don't know, 2 years ago, 2.5 years. I want to say it was at PAX East.
Yeah, PAX East. I think in 11. I'm almost positive because I think it was the PAX East preceding Halo Fest.
Yes, that's right. That's right. Because we went to dinner with a bunch of 343 people.
So that's right, the Italian restaurant.
Yeah.
Good.
So we've known each other for a little while. I mean, of course, I was familiar with you from the forums and the front page and all that stuff. But how long have you sort of been involved with Bungie.org? You know.
Man, if you're wanting to count like lurker as well for just seemingly forever, like a lot of people, I think the story page caught my eye first, especially when there was a lot of heavy, before Halo 2, a lot of heavy back and forth between the Marathon story and Halo story, and everybody was trying to figure out if those were happening in some semblance of the same universe. And so there was a lot of, just a lot of perusal, and then checking out on the forums, and it was kind of a community of people who weren't complete douchebags, which is odd to find. And then, yeah, I just kind of jumped in and feet first, really, pretty much. And it didn't take long. I think I suggested to Claude one time, I was like, hey, if you ever need help with anything, just let me know. Yeah, just a little bit douchebag, Xenos. That's right. But it's, I don't know, man. It was crazy. It's funny. Like I remember telling him like, hey, you want to you need help or whatever?" And he's like, "No, it should be fine. It should be fine." And then like a month later, he was like, about that, if that still stands. I was like, "Yeah." And at the time, I had more time on my hands, and I was bringing a lot of news to the table anyway, so you kind of cut out the middleman. So we just replaced it with a middle finger. I think that was I think that was what it was. But yeah, no. So it's been a kind of a crazy wild ride ever since, and real recently, it's been tough to find time with real world and like day jobs and stuff like that. But the time is kind of swinging back towards me now, which is really exciting. Just in time for new console launches and hopefully a beta pretty soon and things like that. So.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, you always do seem like a pretty busy guy. You never let yourself rest, man.
It's crazy. I'm like in a myriad of industries and like always going. I think I run on like 3.5 hours of sleep a day. I don't even know if it sleeps. Usually somebody comes over in the evening and just kind of plugs me in, turns me off. So.
Speaking of the impending console wars, do you have a particular console you've got your eye on, or are you sticking to current gen?
No.
While we can still call it current gen, we've only got a couple more days left.
I know. My eye is. I mean, I already have an X1 pre-ordered, and I will definitely be picking that up at launch. And I'm kind of holding out with all of the kind of nice heavy relationship it seems that Bungie has going on with Sony. I'm hoping that maybe they announce a Destiny special edition PS4, and so I'll hold off until then. I'll probably get a PS4 then, no matter what. And if they announce a Destiny edition, then I'll get that. But I'll definitely have a day one X1. And I mean, they named it after me, which is really nice of them. So I figure it's only fair. And my favorite franchises are still there. I mean, the Halos, the Forzas, the Killer Instincts, and stuff like that. Killer Instinct, I'm so friggin' stoked about. It's not even funny. So,
I know.
Awesome.
I remember sitting next to you at E3 when they announced it, and you just like you were giddy. It was. I did
kind of flipped out. When they saw that. And I saw it. It was funny. I kind of saw it like on the teleprompter that they had there to the side. And I saw it, and I was like, "Wow!" It was great. It was just fantastic. It was fantastic.
Not the wrong one.
So.
That's awesome. That's pretty cool. And of course, I mean, I know you're a big racing fan, so Forza seems like a natural game for you to want to play. And as far as Halo goes, you're pretty cozy with the 343 people as well. I know I am too. So.
Yeah, they're a fabulous bunch of people, and it's. My adoration of Halo certainly didn't leave with Bungie. It just kind of grew into. It just really just evolved, so that's a great bunch of people. A lot of them who I count as good personal friends. So I will always be rooting for them and rooting for that franchise to succeed, not just on like a hobbyist fictional level, but on a personal one as well. So. It's really the best of both worlds as far as I'm concerned, because I didn't want there to be no more Halo, but as somebody who's also in a lot of like creative endeavors, I totally understand the need to stretch legs and things like that. So I'm really excited that Bungie's going to be able to get to do something brand new in the industry and really test their own limits again and see if they can, as Sage says, capture that lightning in a bottle twice.
Yeah, that'd be cool. And you definitely bring up a good point about, waiting to see if there's going to be a Destiny PlayStation 4, because that seems like a pretty likely, well, not likely, but it's definitely within the realm of possibility. I mean, Activision's done, Call of Duty console bundles before, so Activision doing a Destiny console bundle would seem like a logical step. So.
Yeah, well, and even if they did both, I mean, that's totally fine. But I'm just hoping they at least do a PS4 because it'll give me a good excuse to grab that. What's funny is I would still probably play Destiny, I think, on the X1 more primarily, just because that's more of a home, I think, community-wise for me. I just like the infrastructure a little bit better over there. But I mean, I have the PS3 sitting right over here. I mean, so it's my choice is to just kind of, I sacrifice so that I can have all the things. I don't like choosing. I'm really bad at picking. So if it's A, B, I say yes.
Good enough for me. So anyway, so I guess let's dive into some Bungie Weekly update news, shall we? Alright, let's see if I can bring this up here. Oh, before we get to the weekly update, I wanted to talk about the latest Destiny drawing board. I'm a
Oh
little out
my
of order
yes.
here. So, the first gun we're going to talk about today is the Arcus Regime, an exotic auto rifle. And this thing looks pretty badass.
Yeah,
Uh,
you know it's got a really Mass Effect-y vibey
yeah,
vibe. I
it
don't know why I
does.
pronounced the E in vibe, but Mass Effect-y vibey. Uh,
Vibey,
yeah,
vibey thing going on.
it's super vibey. But yeah, that thing looks absolutely awesome. I love the sleekness of it. It's very it's really funny. The whole gun. I'm going to show my age and my geekness here. The whole gun looks like something off of GI Joe Star Brigade. Like it literally
It
looks like
does.
the GI Joe Star Brigade starfighter made into a gun, and which is just super totally okay in my book. I had like every friggin' one of those things, and yeah, that is totally what it reminds me of.
I'm impressed. Like this gun more than the others they've showed so far. Sort of says to me that it's not from Halo. This looks like a very un-Halo gun.
Yeah,
And again, you got the Mass Effect vibe, some sort of 80s Flash Gordon looking
I love
design
it.
there. It's kind of cool. I know, was it Tom Doyle, the art lead, said, they don't make them like this anymore. Talking about
Yeah.
Arcus, so it sounds like, this is another one of those old guns in the Destiny universe.
Well, I love John Goff, who is just a really great guy and a good friend of mine, actually from the Spawn side of his career, not even the Halo stuff. And like I love hearing him talk about like the story, the fictional elements behind the gun, and it just makes me, yeah, definitely makes me want to grab it, find it, run around with it. So looks absolutely sick.
Yeah, yeah. And of course, here is this. I'm guessing this shot right here is like the first sort of concept they had of it, and then this next shot is the actual model, sort of in game. Of course, work in progress. It always
Yeah.
says, but it's pretty close. Going from concept art back to the model. I like the scope looks a little bit different, and the proportions might be a little adjusted, but
And they keep talking, they keep harping on like the customization options, and
mm,
I'm super interested in that. Like, is it going to be like a modular design from a physical and a geometry perspective, where you're going to have attachments and things like that? Is it going to be a color scheme? Will you be able to have this gun like in black instead of white, or just something like that? I know many of the other Grims, specifically three, he won't be able to play the game with pants on. He'll be oozing, the more customization options there are with it, so, which will be fabulous. It'll be awkward to have him on my couch, but it'll be fabulous just the same.
yeah,
That's why they invented Xbox Live. It's for oozing Pant Brother customization options.
that's what Febreze is for, man.
That's right, Pant Brother 3. That's what it is.
But going back to that Mass Effect vibe you got, I think the HUD especially sort of
Oh,
gives
absolutely.
that same, even like sort of the color scheme they've got.
Yeah. That straight up looks like one of the old toy guns I ran around with in the 1740s. Actually, like it was, like it's super awesome. Like it looks like like an awesome Walmart gun with a cool sticker in there, and it's funny because like when you're a kid, you see these, you run around with like these little like space guns and everything. Of course, they don't actually necessarily do anything, but in your mind it is, and so it's kind of crazy, like to. One of the early things that I remember them mentioning when they were talking about Destiny was like tapping into your inner 7-year-old.
Mm.
And I was like, oh my God, this is exactly what my 7-year-old would have, my inner 7-year-old, which is like 2 years ago,
Yeah.
would have wanted, like, because I would have seen something like this, and in my mind it would have been fully animated and, fighting all the aliens and stuff. And so it's so cool now that we kind of like, now as adults and we have jobs. That's why we have jobs, is to pay enough to visit our 7-year-old worlds again. So,
I'd I'd run around with this thing going pew pew pew.
oh, absolutely.
But so anyway, that was the Arcus Regime, and hopefully we'll be picking one of those up in the. I don't know, maybe it'll be in the beta, or we'll have to wait until the full game. But kind of cool.
Yeah.
Natural
That looks
Resonance
amazing.
just said it's a Power Rangers blaster gun.
Yeah.
That's
Which hopefully means that you can combine it with other Destiny weapons to make a really, really awesome big one.
there you go, the Megazord of Destiny
Oh
weapons.
my god, that'd be
You
great.
combine this with like some other like wolf pistol, and it makes Gjallarhorn.
Oh my god, that'd be great.
Well, anyway, I guess we can jump into the Bungie Weekly update now and sort of
Yeah.
blaze through this. Deej opened it up with a quote from Patrick O'Kelly, who said, "At this point in the development process, we're iterating on nearly all facets of the game, from the new user experience to the arc of the investment game." So it sounds like sounds like they're able to play through Destiny from start to finish and have a lot of those systems in place, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
I really just wanted to include this quote because Patrick was one of the Bungie guys that showed up at the DBO meetup at PAX and sort of caught me by surprise. He's a really cool dude.
Yeah.
That I was standing outside of the restaurant where we were having the DBO meetup, sort of directing people, and this guy in this really nice sport coat and his wife walks up, and I figured like, oh, they're just here for the restaurant, and then I
Food
noticed
trucks.
he's wearing a Bungie baseball cap, and I'm like, oh, maybe should I know you? Are you here for the Bungie thing? And he was like, oh yeah, I'm Patrick. I was like, what do you do for Bungie? He's like, I'm the executive producer of Destiny. And I was like, ugh.
Oh.
We're right upstairs, sir. Just walk right in.
So not much.
Yeah, he doesn't do much. But no, Patrick was really cool. It was awesome getting a chance to talk to him during the thing. He's a really friendly guy. Uh, but anyway, so we've got that nice quote from Patrick, and then Deej included three of these sort of, I'd say postcards, but they look a little more worn and torn than most postcards I've seen. Kind of weird images.
Yes, Deej just gets a hold of his Instagram filters, and it's all done from there. He just picks the one that says Brooklyn Dodger broadcast and goes crazy with it.
Yeah, so here we've got Jesse Hall with his hunter outside the buried city of Mars. Here we've got uh, investment test lead, and I'm gonna murder this name. It's Daniel Achenpach.
It sounds good to me.
Achenpach, something like that. I'm sorry, Daniel. But he's got his Titan here, kind of hunkered down, which I think is interesting. I wonder if we'll be able to have our characters sit down like that. Maybe that's an idle animation or one of the
Well, you notice
emotes.
that that's like almost the exact position that the Titan is in, or that the Exo is in the one of those original postcard pieces of art.
Yeah.
So it's really cool. I would love to be able to just chill out. And didn't he say? I think at E3, somebody said something about just like, I think maybe it was Joe Staten, who you could just be like out in a fight, or you could just be like lying on top of a vehicle looking at the stars or something like that. Like, where's my emoticon for lie down on top of hood? Uh, put arm
Sitting
around
over on the
hot hunter,
sidelines eating popcorn.
right? Awkward yawn. Put arm around hot hunter. Like
And
just be
then
like playing PlayStation Home.
uh, and then this last shot, we've got BBT tester Victor Anderson's Warlock waving to us from a place we've yet to imagine, as Deej describes it. So I'm not quite sure what that means. If this is some planet we haven't been informed on yet.
Yeah, I don't know.
So that was kind of cool. One thing that I thought was neat. Let me adjust this a little bit. Deej said, in the Gauntlet, testers were visited by ghosts on a routine inspection. An homage to a game created by the Bungie of old broke the stride of a performance tester. Memories of games past stopped him dead in his tracks as a wave of nostalgia crashed on his mind. You'll share his sentimentality someday if you be old school and thorough. So this was an interesting quote. It sounds like Bungie's putting some sort of Easter egg in the game,
Yeah.
something memorable enough that it stopped the tester dead in his tracks. That must be kind of cool.
I was actually that was actually one of my favorite paragraphs from the update. In all honesty, was because I've always loved that they've put kind of little homages to previous games in all of their other games, and so that's one of the things I'm looking forward to. Is I hope we see maybe a 117 scrawled around somewhere, or something from Marathon, something from Pathways, like just little bits and bobs, like kind of thrown around there. Some armor that looks real reminiscent of something from Mjolnir or Security armor or something like that.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. I was sort of thinking like maybe it's an area, just like the shape of the room you're in, or the level is sort of harkens back to some old Halo map or Marathon
Yeah,
map or something, and like you might not
Foundation
realize
or
it until you just sort
Cartographer
of
or something
stop
like
and look
that.
around. That would be kind of cool. But
Hedge just says Bungie makes Easter eggs with a game in it, which is it's absolutely true.
yeah, that's a good point. And then Deej had this one last little tidbit here. He said, "This week, perhaps most exciting of all, we let some very special guests play Destiny for the first time, but that's an adventure you'll read about in the weeks to come." And I think it was Kermit on the forum speculated, like, hey, maybe it's Claude, but I think Claude debunked that. So I don't know who Deej is talking about here. Maybe it's just members of the press that got to play
It's not me.
Destiny.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It sounds like it might be somebody more special than that. Um, so keeping an eye out for that. Deej wraps up the Bungie Weekly update with a couple questions from the mail sack,
Yeah.
and one of the questions was about vehicles, and Deej's answer was that pikes belong to the Fallen. Just sort of clarifying that, so we've got sparrows that are the player vehicles, and then to drive a pike, you're gonna have to steal one from a fallen enemy.
Yeah,
So
yeah, that was a very interesting one actually to me too. And when he talks about like every guardian gets their own whip, uh, and especially when he's like, one that'll always be there or nearly always be there when you need it. Is it something you can summon? Is it something that is he talking about the ship? So I would imagine he's not talking about the ship. That it's something more of like a personal transport for exploration, for like groundside exploration. But that would be awesome too, is if there's customization options on the vehicle itself, even if it's just like emblems on it or something like that, like color options and emblems or something like that. It'd be kind of cool. Almost you could be like Destiny, Sons of Anarchy bike club, like
biker gangs roaming
right.
around the public events. That'd be pretty cool. But that wraps up the weekly update. One more thing I wanted to touch on before we hit some community stuff was the Destiny trading cards. So we've got this picture here of, I think this is the first 14 cards, but 3 more came out this past week from, I want to say it was Madrid. Madrid. I think the previous batch were from Madrid. This batch was from no. This was from Madrid Games Week. Uh, so this first card was the Cabal, and
Los Cabal.
yeah, Los Cabal. It looks even more alien when it's in
Yeah.
non-English language, because I'm, a uncultured person that only
Well, it's
knows
it's it's
one
a little known
language.
fact that the Cabal actually speaks Spanish. Yeah, it's interesting.
That'd be kind of funny. And then of course we've got the back of this card here that has the code. You probably can't see it if you're watching the stream. I don't know if the resolution's high enough, but if you go to the DBO forums, we've got a sticky thread at the top that has all the codes for you. Easy copy pasting from there. Um, but anyway, so we've got the Cabal, and at the top we had I think it was TTL Demagogue on the forums was trying to translate these using a combination of Google Translate and his own grammatical skills. Um, but at the top it sort of says, "Are we the real enemy, or are we just collateral damage?" Sort of bringing up the question of like, are the Cabal on Mars to attack humans, or are we just sort of collateral damage on their war on somebody
Yeah.
else? Maybe they're at war with the Fallen.
Well, and we know so little about their origins and stuff like that. Just period of all of those races. So it's similar to when they were talking about the Hive being down on the moon for so long. It's like, okay, is that an origination point? Is that how long have they been there? How'd they get there, et cetera, et cetera. So it really kind of plays into that same mystery of all that.
Yeah. Let's see, the second card we've got here is La Costa Devastada, Venus, which I guess if you want to try and translate it directly, it'd be like the devastated coast. But Urk stopped by on the forum and said that the proper English name for this is the Shattered Coast.
Okay, nice.
Which is kind of cool.
Which just sounds awesome.
And then here's the back. We've got this interesting image of what looks like a statue with some nice wings and laurels and all kinds of stuff there.
It's holding 2 halos. Oh wait, no, that's not.
That was a good point. There you go. There's your reference. That's what stopped somebody else.
Bing,
like,
there it is.
Halo?
This stops me.
I love Halo too.
He literally was like, really. That's how we're gonna reference it. Okay.
And then the third card was the Minotauro, or the Vex Minotaur, which is an enemy we've sort of seen before. This is the first time we've really got a name for it. I'm guessing this is sort of a medium, maybe heavy Vex enemy, as opposed to, if you sort of look in the background, you can kind of see what I guess would be the lighter class of Vex.
The giant headdress,
and maybe maybe just the name here is yet another reference to an old Bungie game. Minotaur, of course. But let's see, that sort of hits that. I think these trading cards are pretty cool.
Yeah, the trading cards are awesome. I would love to have them like available as packs or something like that. PACKS, not X. But maybe packs.
Hey, I would love to see them at packs too. I wonder how many total there are. We're up to 17 now, so it'll be interesting to see. Like how many more gaming conferences are there between now and spring 2014? For these to keep popping up at all over the world.
Theoretically, that should include PAX East. So
yeah, that's true. But all right. Well, let's see. One thing I wanted to touch on really quick, just sort of highlight, was yet another awesome piece of art from our in-house sketchmaster, Leviathan. And here's just a quick Hunter ink that he made that I lovingly posted to the DBO front page when there was no other news.
He knows no bounds. Actually, one of his pieces is literally like right behind me. Oh, wrong side. This side over here, hanging up in a place of honor. And then I've got a bunch more of his pieces framed over there. And he's everything he does, man. He's just so good.
That's pretty cool. One thing I wanted to mention was I'm sort of in the way there. Marty is actually hosting sort of a talk at Bungie tonight, I believe. I think it's going on right now at the Bungie Theater. And the subject is staying creative in game audio, and it's part of the International Game Developers Association. So it's not really a Bungie event. It's just being hosted at Bungie.
Yeah, I was reading that actually right before we started. When I had popped on the forums, I saw that post and I was like, oh. Just anything involving Marty is great, or just his stuff. I mean, like a good buddy of mine and I went to the VGL event that was here in the Tampa Bay area, and with the Florida Orchestra was doing it, and just they're absolutely phenomenal. And when they did the Halo suite, I was just like, oh god, like to hear it live and to hear it, what I would imagine to be like closer to what he hears it originally when he's composing it and everything. It's just absolutely spectacular.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I've never heard a live orchestra playing Marty music, so I'm kind of jealous of that.
It's amazing.
It's pretty neat that Bungie's hosting this IGDA talk. I think the description for it said that Marty will discuss working on AAA games, a huge franchise, and collaborating with designers, engineers, artists, actors, and other amazing folks. And he'll also play some new tracks and talk a bit about adaptive audio, which is pretty cool. I believe DBO forum members Grizz and Kev and Bjorn are actually going to be there, the lucky dogs. Uh, One of the perks of living in the Seattle area, I guess.
Yeah, I know. Everybody's moving there too, and I literally get pinged like every week from some people there. Specifically, my my well tanned brother, Rikizzle,
Yeah, Rickard.
asking me why I don't live there yet. So it's there's like a tug of war going on. I guess I just want to yell "Make a wish" once a week or so.
That's funny. But yeah, incredibly jealous of those two guys. So hopefully
Yeah.
we'll get a full report from them on the forum tomorrow, after they're back from this talk. Um, with that,
If they don't, we'll just ban them.
yeah, there you go.
So
It might be
you
hard
either
to
report or you
ban
don't belong
Bjorn,
here.
but
We have to hold up our only slightly douchey status.
there you
So
go. That's it. so so I guess with that, it's time for this week's tip of the hat. Um, I've got my own hat here.
I was just gonna say
Yeah,
I'm
you
kind of
got your
I've
little
got like a pull of a
beanie
hat.
thing. So tip of the hat this week goes to viewers like you, and I'm talking about anybody that's watching the Twitch stream now, or watching the archive on YouTube or anywhere else. I'm not soliciting you for donations like PBS. This is completely non-profit, non-cost operation here as far as dboTV is concerned. But I did wanna give a good old tip of the hat to everybody that's watching. I certainly have fun with dboTV, so I hope you guys have fun with it. Thanks for watching that now. In fact, hold on, I want to try this and see if I can pull up the stream. Oh, there we go. Yeah, all of these guys right here. So tip of the hat to all of you for watching and participating in the stream.
Woo! Go you guys.
Now, if you would like to donate to dboTV, send a check or money order to no.
To Claude. Oh wait, no.
Yeah, really. All right. Well, that pretty much wraps up this week. I do want to point out that there is a DBO community game night. This week it's Halo 4. It's yet another in the series hosted by Xenos over on the forum. And it's this Thursday, November 14th at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6:30 p.m. Pacific. So be sure to check the forum for details on that. I know Xenos has a lot of fun playing various games, and he tries to alternate between Bungie and non-Bungie games. So, or
DBO,
Halo and
DBO,
non-Halo games.
HBO, any BO game nights is
Yeah.
great.
That's always fun. But anyway, I guess just want to say thank you for joining me, Jeff. It's been a
Dude,
pleasure.
absolutely, man. Anytime. Overdue for hearing your swank voice.
Indeed. I'm sure I'll sucker you into coming on the show again at some point once I've
Anytime.
scraped the bottom of the barrel of guests.
Just as soon as you run out, just give this
Like, yeah,
bastard
I'm out.
a call.
Hey. You need like a big red phone that I can just call. Like, I need you on dboTV.
That's okay. Just hit my easy button or something like that.
There you go. But thanks a lot, Jeff. I'll let you go, man. See you
Absolutely.
around,
Thanks
dude.
so much, man. Appreciate it.
All right. And with that, I will. Whoop, whoop. Let's go. There we go. That's what I want. I will say thank you all again for watching. As always, I'd love your feedback on the forums. You can watch replays of this on Twitch or on our YouTube channel, or over at dboTV, our dboTV page on Destiny.Bungie.Org, and we've also got a Facebook page and some Twitter accounts. Without further ado, I shall present to you the credits. Let's do this. Go. There we go. Alright. Time for me to dive into the chat a little bit more. How's everybody doing today? Oh, these were short credits today.